The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. Every great idea starts out as a blasphemy. A smile happens in a flash, but its memory can last a lifetime. Fear is the main source of superstition, and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. There are two motives for reading a book: one, that you enjoy it; the other, that you can boast about it. To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. It's easy to fall in love. The hard part is finding someone to catch you. To teach how to live without certainty, and yet without being paralyzed by hesitation, is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy in our age can still do for those who study it. Most people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so. It is the preoccupation with possessions, more than anything else, that prevents us from living freely and nobly. Those who have never known the deep intimacy and the intense companionship of happy mutual love have missed the best thing that life has to give. We know very little, and yet it is astonishing that we know so much, and still more astonishing that so little knowledge can give us so much power. Patriots always talk of dying for their country, but never of killing for their country. Neither a man nor a crowd nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely, or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. If there were in the world today any large number of people who desired their own happiness more than they desired the unhappiness of others, we could have paradise in a few years. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. Everything is vague to a degree you do not realize till you have tried to make it precise. The greatest challenge to any thinker is stating the problem in a way that will allow a solution. The good life is inspired by love and guided by knowledge. Science is what you know, philosophy is what you don't know. I think we ought always to entertain our opinions with some measure of doubt. I shouldn't wish people dogmatically to believe any philosophy, not even mine. What is wanted is not the will to believe, but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. A man without a bias cannot write interesting history. Science can teach us, and I think our hearts can teach us, no longer to look around for imaginary supporters, no longer to invent allies in the sky, but rather to look to our own efforts, here below, to make the world a fit place to live. Remember your humanity, and forget the rest. Your writing is never as good as you hoped, but never as bad as you feared. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, for it is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy can live. Collective fear stimulates herd instinct and tends to produce ferocity toward those who are not regarded as members of the herd. Having made the decision, do not revise it unless some new fact comes to your knowledge. Nothing is so exhausting as indecision, and nothing is so futile. It is a waste of energy to be angry with a man who behaves badly, just as it is to be angry with a car that won't go. The wise man thinks about his troubles only when there is some purpose in doing so. At other times, he thinks about other things, or if it is night, about nothing at all. The use of self-control is like the use of brakes on train. It is useful when you find yourself in wrong direction, but merely harmful when the direction is right. I found one day in school a boy of medium size ill-treating a smaller boy. I expostulated, but he replied, "The bigs hit me, so I hit the babies, that's fair." In these words, he epitomized the history of the human race. Envy consists in seeing things never in themselves, but only in their relations. If you desire glory, you may envy Napoleon, but Napoleon envied Caesar, Caesar envied Alexander, and Alexander, I dare say, envied Hercules, who never existed. Most people would rather die than think, and many of them do. Extreme hopes are born from extreme misery. The search for something permanent is one of the deepest of the instincts, leading men to philosophy. The secret to happiness is this: let your interest be as wide as possible, and let your reactions to the things and persons who interest you be as far as possible friendly, rather than hostile. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross, and which to burn. A stupid man's report of what a clever man says can never be accurate, because he unconsciously translates what he hears into something he can understand. No great achievement is possible without persistent work. Be isolated, be ignored, be attacked, be in doubt, be frightened, but do not be silenced. This is wisdom. If these wise sayings have inspired you, please consider subscribing. And wherever you are, we wish you a great day ahead, a good afternoon, evening, or night. And don't forget to check out our next video, for it is filled with wisdom.